Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to Ethereum update, and Ethereum right now is at 2411. I want to actually give you a little bit of a lengthy update today because I've actually been looking at Ethereum for quite some time, and I've actually tried to trade Ethereum as well on the private, so it is going good so far. Now I'm going to start off with the daily time frame, and Ethereum here on the daily. I was actually looking at this distribution going on for Ethereum. Do you see that? And it almost seems like Ethereum, I noticed, has one top in here, second top right there, another third top in here, which is a triple top. And if we take the technical targets of this one and we place it right over here, for some reason it feels as if Ethereum can kind of like go to 1334, but it was actually met previously, so I don't think it's going to happen again. It actually did came to that target, and then from there it since it actually broke down and didn't backtest, they decided to just go back up again and backtest the whole thing one more time. So Ethereum has this habit of just breaking down and then going back for the retest. Now that was the first thing. This was a huge pattern that was made from 22 January all the way to 24. Like, this was a whole year. It took one whole year to make the triple top. Okay, so this was a very, very long time of waiting, but it was a very big trade as well. Now, one more thing is, on the daily again, you created another distribution pattern here, which is a small one. So we're going to talk about this one, and we're going to go on the 4 hours. So I actually want to drive you to how the current situation really looks like. Now, when you come on the daily time frame, this was what's going on. So you had that little bit of support, and then you had this resistance up here. And for 6 weeks, Ethereum was consolidating right here. So 1, 2, 3 sideways, and 6 weeks back to back. And then what happened is that if we go on the daily and we check the daily time frame in here, I knew that this was the final pump, right? This right over here was the final pump. And I'm actually going to show you one amazing thing I discovered, and that is the Elliott wave theory. So you had like I think this was maybe 2 and 3 and 4 and a 5. Okay, so these were 5 wave completed. So normally you're not going to go up for the 6th wave, right? It didn't just make any sense. And I knew that the fact that the 5th wave ends here, this is the end of the channel. I had a feeling, and I actually ended up taking the trade right on the 4th wave over here, some few whenever it happened, like back in 10th of June. I actually did trade this one on the private. So speaking of this private as well, I've taken Ethereum one more time, so you can see this is the entry that I took. When was this? Yesterday, right? So yesterday this was the entry at 25.03. Now I'm going to tell you why this happened. This entry really happened. So as soon as I figured out that Ethereum is doing this, and if we go back in the 4-hour time frame right now, Ethereum had a move down below that trading channel. So look at this, it broke down and then it went up for the retest. And I actually said this, that I have been looking at Ethereum bearish pattern for 4 days now, so give it a try, right? So we did have like a 2.9% risk in here, and the thing is this, we took it at 25.0 something, right? So we've been like 4% up right now. And another pattern, now let me show you another pattern. Okay, it's pattern within patterns and retest. So you can see that this broke down, went for the retest, amazing. And then if we go on the 15 minutes time frame again, and I'm going to actually remove all the drawings, it does look like, as we speak right now, Ethereum is at 24.09, and this is another pattern, and you can see another pattern called ascending broadening wedge. So if you go in here, you take the lines and you push the lines like that, here it is. So again, Elliott wave theory, I noticed this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it didn't really make sense to me that it's going to go for the sixth wave, right? So there's no sixth wave, that's the end of it. So the fifth wave from here should be good to the downside. And then you combine the fact that you have this bearish pattern, and then you also combine that you went up for that retest, right? The fact that you went up for this retest, and this is your resistance right now. And then finally you use the RSI, and if I show you the RSI, look, the prices went up here and the RSI moved down there. Okay, so that's all for the video. I think this pattern here is gonna go on, and it's actually going to move from top to bottom, and at least I can say that we have 22.96. We're still going to see another 4.69%, and from the entry that's going to be almost like 8.3% win for us as well. So we're risk free already. We have our stop losses updated as well. You can see that we have our stop losses for Ethereum right now from back to 2. At first we started with like 2.9% risk, and now we have 0% risk at the moment. So it's actually safe for us. We can even take out our profit if we wanted to, but I think it's actually going to go and move a little bit lower for this, just for the sake of this pattern. Even the fact that I'm saying this, Bitcoin has a negative pattern, and you can see that Bitcoin has lost this trend line here, and Bitcoin has the potential to actually go to 104.705. And by the time Bitcoin goes down there, I think Ethereum is also going to follow down. So things are looking to at least correct 4 to like 6%, and that for us is still an important win. So that's all. That was the private, a little bit of how I do things and how I trade. So if that actually convinces you to join our Q3 in July, and this is exactly how I'm going to be trading in the next coming few days. You can see that these are not just guessed kind of trades. They're not just guesswork. They're actually real technical analyzed work, as I've shown you from the daily to I mean, it's crazy how that I'm even looking at patterns that have been created for the past 1 year. For example, how many people have recognized that Ethereum did have a triple top in here, right? So you go back in history, and that's what TA really is. You look at the previous data and you analyze where you are and what's going to go on. And that's why you have to go on the daily, zoom out a little bit. You have to become a bird sitting here, and you have to look down at what is going on. And then you'll figure out, you'll understand what's going on. Now for me, one last thing I think I'm going to give you as a gift is one of the biggest trade that you can actually have for Ethereum is when Ethereum comes down to I'm not saying it's going to go down here, but if it ever comes to 1619, that's a huge support right there. 1, move up, and a 2, move up. And if you do something like this, 3, you could move up, and you could have the potential. And this was a move up of 94%. This was a move up of nearly, you can see, another 100%, and you could literally just 2x from here if it actually comes down again. So, well, now you can always look at Ethereum. Of course, use your stop losses. You never know if the support line can break below and then even go down. So use your stop losses, trade wisely. But I think it's a big support, and by the time you come down here, you will be completely oversold, and there are handsome chances that you can actually pump back up again. So that's all for the video, and we have 4 more days to close the private, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Love.